Hello guys, it's another video from Tech Point Zone. So today we're going to talk about how you can save power consumption when you have a solar inverter system running. So one of the mistakes that many people out there make is that when they have their solar inverter plugged in, right, like the one I have here, and I have this Felicity charge controller of the mppt type, right, charging these two batteries for a 24-volt system with this battery equalizer. And I believe we had a video where we talked about this extensively. And this is the inverter, 24-volt system of inverter. Now what happens here, right, when you have this type of setup where you have just a normal mppt charge controller, which is not of the hybrid type, what happens is you have this charge controller connected to your system, right, and then you also have power from the mains, which is this, down to the switch, also connected to your system. So what this power does is it's the one feeding this inverter system, right, this inverter with power, where it is charging these two batteries. So what is happening now is that the solar charge controller is seeing that the batteries are getting charged from an alternate source, and in order to prevent the battery from getting damaged, it stopped charging the battery simultaneously. So what this means is that right now, regardless of the fact that we have sun shining very well on a fairly good intensity, you are not using power from the solar. What you are doing is you are using power from your mains, which is from your power holding company. So now I'm going to pause this video, right, to show you the appliance that is plugged to this inverter system right away. Okay, so here we are, and this is the cable that takes power to the appliance plugged in, and the appliance in this case is a refrigerator, right, of about 200 to 220 watts, and it ranges power between 120, 130, 150 up to 200 and sometimes 220, depending on the cooling requirement and other variables like temperature and heat retention within the refrigerator. So now what is happening is the inverter system is powering this, but just because there is power from the power holding company also charging the battery, the charge controller stopped charging the batteries. So what this means is you are running your system on power from the grid, not power from the solar panels. So to demonstrate to you, right, that this charge controller can swing into action once there is power outage, I'm going to go to the power from the mains, which is from the power holding company, and this is the switch that powers the inverter, which in turn charges the battery. So I'm switching this off now. Yeah, did you hear that? That's the alarm saying, oh, there is power outage. And what is going to happen next? You look at the charge controller. Right now it's running on input of 43 volts, and the battery voltage has gone to 25.8 with 0.3 amps, 9 watts. So you are going to look at this looking at this charge controller. In a matter of seconds or minutes, it's going to start drawing power from the solar panels to charge the battery, which in turn powers the refrigerator that I showed you just a couple of minutes ago. So let's wait and watch this. Currently we have 9 watts being drawn from the solar panels, and then we have 42 volts. So you can see it's moved on to 11 watts. Let's wait. 13, 15, 19. So that's how it gradually keeps going up. And while the wattage is going up, please pay attention to the battery voltage also. You can see it's moved from 25.9 to 26.2 now, 3, 26.5, 26.6, 27.2, and now you have about 300 watts being drawn from the solar panel to be used by the inverter to power the refrigerator that I showed you a few minutes ago. So this is one of the ways you can save power. So if you have your inverter of this type of setup where there is no maybe hybrid system of inverter of charge controller that can manage power charging source, that can manage it between the solar type, the solar source and the power holding company, what you'll be doing effectively is just putting down sunshine power source to use that of power from your power holding company. So one of the ways you can manage that is to come to the switch that supplies your inverter with power from the mains, switch it off. Then once the charge controller sees that the batteries are not getting charged with any power source, it swings into action. And right now what is happening is this system is being charged from with power from the solar panels, and I have a 900 watt solar panel up there on my roof, and you can see it keeps drawing power from the solar panel from 190 to 200. So now you can see that it was around 300 watts before, and right now it's around 200 watts. What this means is the initial power it drew from the solar panel was to use in bulk charging the battery, and right now that the battery is up almost up to the required voltage, you can see what it's doing is to trickle charge, and the average power being drawn from the solar panel now is almost the power being drawn by the refrigerator. So I told you the refrigerator runs between like 150 to 200 or 220 depending on the power requirement due to the heat conditions and the cooling requirements. So this is one of the ways you can save yourself from excessive power bills from the power holding company when you already have this type of solar inverter system set up. So like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications so that when we release our next video you will get notification. Thank you guys, bye for now.